Да. Русского.
Thank you very much for putting this final touch on this composition.
See you tomorrow.
Да. И просто если многие люди... Лучше, да, я переживаю. И если люди приходят сюда учиться, какие композиции, их
No, I just thought it would be nice.
Also, they like if there is any to remember the first edition of the festival, which maybe you would like to take back in your mind or in realizing the art and if you were
There were many things. I remember there was a very clever topiary garden from the first one, and a chess garden, like a chess game, topiary. I thought that was very clever. Unfortunately, my garden isn't big enough to do that, but I like that because I like to play chess, and I think that Russian people like to play chess too. And it was a lovely idea. It was beautifully done. I'm looking forward very much to seeing this French-Russian collaboration this year. Because we learnt a lot from the Italians, we learnt a lot from the French. And then it was the French idea, Rousseau. They always say it's an English garden, but it was Rousseau who actually publicized the letting everything grow naturally. Of course, the English natural gardens aren't natural at all. Very, very carefully organized to look natural. But I'm very curious to see what we have tomorrow.
И последнее уточнение напоследок. Огорчает ли ее погода? Какие-то растения видны ли за погодой?
Does the weather make you sad here and the general climate in England because it restricts the growth of certain plants, or is it okay from your point of view?
I don't think it restricts the growth of any plants. I think, you mean now, the weather now, or generally?
Погода сегодня, сейчас, или в целом наш северный климат, который в Англии...
Растения в вашем саду страдают из-за погоды?
Или, for example, plants in your garden, do they suffer from climate, from bad weather? Or are there any plants that you would like to plant there but they wouldn't grow because of the weather?
No, everything grows rather too much. My problem is more cutting back than encouraging to grow. This is the kind of rain that is perfect for gardens. Gentle rain. That's why I think there is such a tradition of gardening in England. No, I think it's perfect for gardens. It's not perfect maybe for, sitting outside and having a picnic. It's perfect. I think your problem here is that you have frozen ground for a lot of the year, and that makes gardening very difficult. And which is why I've been boring Mr. Gusser for a long time about restoring this wonderful thing that you have only here in St. Petersburg, which is the winter garden, started by Peter the Great. And so many of your great buildings here have what was an original winter garden, which is a conservatory, that's all, indoors. And the smallest house can add a conservatory, a small conservatory, something behind glass, or on a balcony, and you can grow things throughout. Because we're lucky today, we have central heating, they have heating, so we can give the plants the heat they need. But a winter garden was always on the first floor, so the heat came from underneath, and the Marble Palace, they're almost finished the restoration of the original winter garden that there was there. And I think it's a wonderful thing you have here that you have nowhere else in the world. They used to be called the Imperial Winter Garden. So I look forward to seeing many more conservatories here.
Вопрос сортовая английская роза
Vendetta? Vendetta. The name of this road is Vendetta.
Oi, oi, oi! In the middle of the Tudor roses.
Среди тудоровских роз вдруг Вендетта записалась.
Do you know what is a Tudor rose?
А что такое тудоровская роза?
это символ королевства.
Symbol of the fighting between the house, between two great English houses in the 15th century. They were called the Wars of the Roses. And that's why this is called the Wars of the Roses, because there was the white rose of Lancaster and the red rose of the Tudors. And so that's why I think it's quite interesting, the name of this rose. Because that's what it was. It was a vendetta between the camp of the white rose and the camp of the red rose.
Yes, it's historical.
Yes, very interesting. Very interesting.
I know that there must be great difference between making a real garden and making an exhibition object. Could you please, as a gardener, explain what is this difference?
Well, I think
this one won't leave long time.
no, but the whole point of having a garden exhibition, I think, is that members of the public take away an idea. It's like an exhibition of anything. You're not going to make this wonderful gravel garden perhaps at home, but you take away an idea. And from all the gardens that I've seen here in the last 3 years, there's something that I've thought, yes, I must remember this. I take a photograph, of course, very quickly. And I think that's the point of these exhibition gardens, that everyone can not only enjoy them for the visual beauty of them and the ideas behind them, but that they take away a little thought, an idea, take it home and do it at home.
Could you? How long does it be? For example, your exhibition object. How long will it be? I mean, all these parts.
Well, I mean, we have Chelsea Flower Show, as you know, and that's on only for 5 days. So, exhibition flowers, it's a little bit like having a vase in your house. If you have your roses living 5 days in your vase, you're very pleased, aren't you? And so that's a little bit the way it is with garden exhibitions, about 5 days.
Could you say something could you say something to Russian viewers and Russian visitors and Russian people, no, simply your message to Russians?
But I'm very happy always to come. And I'm sad I don't speak your language like my husband.
Спасибо.
Спасибо.